In this video, we will look at homework problem 22 from the MyLab homework. Again, we're going to be doing a hypothesis test for a mean. This is with the population standard deviation, or sigma, unknown. The difference for this question is we're given the data rather than the summary data. I'm going to jump over the steps again because we've already explained those in a previous video. But we are going to apply these steps to Statcrunch and work over problem 22. For problem 22, we are given the sample data. No estimated estimate of the population standard deviation is given. So here's the question. You receive a brochure from a large university. The brochure indicates that the mean class size for full-time faculty is fewer than 32 students. You want to test this claim. You randomly select 18 classes taught by full-time faculty and determine the class size of each. The results are shown in the table below. At alpha equals 0.10, can you support the university's claim? And then we're going to complete parts A through D this time. Assume the population is normally distributed. Remember, they have to tell us that for us to be able to use the tools to run the test. So the claim is that mu is less than 32. Well, the condition of equality is not there, and that indicates that we're going to be doing a left-tailed test. So we've taken the claim, we've moved it down to the alternative hypothesis because the condition of equality is not in the claim. And then the complement for the null hypothesis is mu is greater than or equal to 32. Now we do have a sample size of 18, but we do not know the sample mean or the sample standard deviation because what we have is the data from the sample. If you as a student were doing a small scale study, this is the type of study you could do. Alpha equals 0.10. So is the population standard deviation given? No. So we're going to use the Statcrunch T-STATS with data. After we run the test, we see a p-value of 0.021, so p equals 0.021. When compared to the given alpha of 0.10, we see 0.021 is less than 0.10. If the null is low, it must go, so we will reject the null hypothesis. And this is what this is going to look like. And remember, when we're working in the MyStatLab problems, and even when you're taking the test, if you see data, you'll be able to click the little button at the top right, and it'll automatically download the data into Statcrunch. I did the summary statistics, even though I don't need them, and it does give me a mean and a standard deviation for the sample, but it's unnecessary because I can do the one sample T with the data, and notice I have my hypothesis test of equal to 32 or less than 32. So let's see what this looks like with where we're actually using Statcrunch. Looks like my picture's in the way. So let's see. Let's open the data in Statcrunch. And we're going to do, I'm not going to run the summary stats again. I think everybody knows how to do that. I'm going to go directly to T-STATS, one sample with the data. Variable 1, I'm going to come down and set my null hypothesis of equal to 32, and I'm going to set my alternative hypothesis of less than 32, and I'm going to click compute. And if you'll notice, I do get the T-STAT. This particular question, they don't ask me to find that, but I do get the test statistic, which is a T-STAT. More importantly, I get the p-value, 0.0206. That rounds to a 0.021, as you can see right here. Now, returning to our document, we see, whoops, you probably don't want to see my email, do you? Let's try to get back to the document. Returning to here, let's look at the final solution to the question. So we see that we've identified our null and alternative hypothesis of mu greater than or equal to 32 and mu less than 32. Our p-value, 0.021, is what they asked us to find, and we did. We know we're rejecting the null because the p-value is less than the significance level. So remember that our claim is in the alternative hypothesis. So if we're rejecting the null hypothesis, that gives us evidence to support our claim in the alternative hypothesis, which is what researchers frequently love. They'll set up the test so that their claim is usually in the or is frequently in the alternative hypothesis. So what is the interpretation? At the 10% level of significance, there is sufficient evidence to support the claim that the mean class size for full-time faculty is fewer than 32 students. So the next video we're going to do, which will be the last one, will be doing a hypothesis test with a proportion. Hope you found this video helpful.